Testing 1, 2, 3. Testing 1, 2, 3. This is Black Spring with Autumn on your Moonlight stream. I'd like to welcome anybody or everybody that is stopping by or considering stopping by. This is a test, but of course you're always welcome to hang out. Hope everybody's doing well on your Tuesday and that you are finding safety and that you are within safety's reach, or at least you can see it from where you are. Come on in. I'd be happy to have you here. I've seen quite a few things happening across the nation. Of course, we've heard from many over the last couple of days. Once again, I'd like to thank everybody for joining me on this segment of Black Spring with Autumn. If you can hear me, this is a test. I will say that. And shout out to Chrysler Imperial H. Chrysler, can you hear me? I am just testing out a couple of technology hacks because I would like to use more technology, whatever I have available. Are you able to hear me? If you could just give me a thumbs up if you can hear me, and also I'm wondering if you can hear any music in the background. Thank you so much for coming in. Okay, so how about let me put on some music in the back. Hi, Sandy K. How are you? Welcome into the Moonlighting with Black Spring. Haven't done this in a while, but thought I'd give it a try. What's on your guys' mind on this evening? This is a pretty chill chat, not a whole lot of structure, not really a lot of content. This is just going to be more commentary. How's everything in your area? Chrysler Imperial H and Sandy K. I'm not sure where you're joining us from, Sandy K. Once again, I'd like to thank everybody for joining me on this segment of Black Spring. So nice to have you guys out. I'm going to play some music. If you hear any music, just let me know. Oh, that's good, Chrysler Imperial, if you think it sounds great, because I usually run away. I'm doing well enough, Sandy K. I got to tell you, the way that this, I'm not sure what direction we're going in. It's it just seems that there's, of course, there's chaos, but then there's also, out of chaos, what are we going to gain from all of this? I mean, the best we could hope for would be some type of peaceful resolution. But I have to say, at this point, I really don't think. I think that anyone, citizens or anyone resorting to any type of looting or rioting, I think it's a self-serving purpose at this point. And it's another crisis, if you will. It's another opportunity for someone, or an opportunist, or someone with nefarious intent to take advantage and do harm to those who are, innocent. And I have no problem with anyone's peaceful, their right to assemble peacefully, but I don't see that. I honestly don't believe that this is, it just seems like, we've got, no matter what your spiritual beliefs are, your religious beliefs, whether you have those or not, we have people that idolize. It seems that there's this culture of idolizing people when they pass, whether we, auto mourners. I thought it was the most remarkable culture. Even, I'll give you another example. What was it during the, unfortunately, when Kobe Bryant passed? I mean, I'm not a follower of celebrities. I've lost my wit for them for some time now, but it just seems during the Kobe Bryant tragedy, of course there were other people on that plane, but it just seems that, people from all walks of life, I heard a plural hearsay of people taking off work, and just, I don't know where. I don't have an auto mourn button. I don't have an auto mourn filter. You guys got any comments on that? How does that work? Is that an essential emotion? Is that essential to justice that we auto mourn even if we don't have a connection to the person? Or, of course, it was a terrible thing, a terrible tragedy, and those guys, they deserve to be brought to justice, but at the same time, what's the end game in all of the destruction? And I will tell you, it's also bringing light to some things I never really submitted to. This culture of, what do they call? They call them millennials. I'm not a millennial. I don't consider myself a millennial. I think I'm too far to the right of it, and just, I'm not. I just don't. I won't pile myself on or into that group. I won't, because I don't know those, the dynamics of a millennial. It just seems that they're not very. I not speak for all of them, but the way they are, it seems like it's mostly them that's reacting to this in the most volatile way. We have a huge, we've had generations of demoralization, generations of destabilization in our values. And to me, this is just another example of it. It's sick to watch some of these. These are not protests. Self-destruction is not a protest. When I think about all the tears, even on these governors, I'm like, my gosh, how are you this? You're emoting for some reason, and I don't. And I'm sorry to say what's behind those tears, but I really, it can't be real. It can't be based on anything. It can't be based on anything real. I mean, even Gavin Newsom's, his response, everyone had an emotional response to President Trump's saying, look, don't allow lawlessness to destroy your cities and destroy the people that live in these cities. It's almost like, oh, well, just let them vent. I just let them say, are we children? Is that where we are? I mean, it was a horrible thing to witness. It was a horrible thing to watch. But then, we've all lost someone. I lost someone close to me this year, and I struggle with that every day. But never have I haven't been destructive. I've had my times. I've taken time to myself. And I just think that it's a dice. I think it's dishonorable what's been done at this point. I've seen people looting Louis Vuitton stores, Santa Monica stores, fine jewelry stores. I've seen millennials hauling mannequins out of Target. Is that what you need? Oh, I'm sorry to hear that, Sandy K. Well, my dad passed earlier this year, and I tell you, Sandy K, it has not been. This year. It's almost like we're on a pause. We can't. It's almost like, was there ever a really in my world? I can't really place a beginning and even now, even though I know where the calendar says that we are, but I cannot place. I can't really place where we are emotionally. There's a lot of emotions going on, but I think the demands that have been placed on the president, I think those are unreasonable. For starters, if you want to talk from a cultural perspective, okay, well, I don't know that anybody pressed the former administration to look into any of these matters of justice. I don't. Instead, what did we get? We got BLM. We got Black Lives Matter. That's what we ended up with. And I'm actually quite surprised that, the president in his address, he had strong words, and I think they were necessary, but I think, the action, if your government, if your leadership is just going to stand by and say, oh, we liberals, we just stand by and give people space to destroy. I remember that happened on that Freddie Gray case in Baltimore. Rollins Blake. She was on camera. I played that the other day, of saying that they gave people the place, they gave people that were angry some time, some space, and then they also gave others the space to destroy as well. So how much space are they going to give before it's on a criminal level? And that's what it is. It's a criminal level. It's an infiltration. That's been the whole theme of the day. Everything is infiltrated. Your movement is infiltrated. So let me give a shout out to everyone. I know I dove right into this one, and I said there was no structure to this one, but it's always nice to hear from you guys. Actually, if anybody wants to jump on this stream, I'm happy if you do that. If you're interested in that, I guess I'll put it in the stream, or if you want to, just put a 1 in the stream and I'll put it out. There's so many things that are happening right now, but I'm happier if I can, get a confirmation that somebody actually wants to come on and talk. And I'm using my avatar today, and it's actually quite brilliant. I should have used my avatar during a bulk of this lockdown / quarantine. And like, what happened? Did the COVID-19 go on a vacation? You're not. Here's the thing. Here's the logic. We're locking people up for going to church or attempting to reopen a business, but we're not locking people up for actually looting those businesses. Does it feel like the Twilight Zone yet? Man, I'll step out of that mode for just a second. Shout out to Chrysler Imperial H. I thank you so much for coming in. Shout out to Sandy K. And I'm going to read your comments. I swear I'm going to read those. Appreciate you guys. And hopefully this audio is holding up. This is a part of the just trying to shore up a few things on the channel and bring a few more things in. So let's see. Sandy K. Oh, wow. I haven't spent a lot of time in Kentucky, but I have a friend, or I had a friend that lived there, but it seems to be there's something about Kentucky that has a southern charm in Kentucky, I believe. I think that's fair to say. There's something charming about it, and I know it's not a deep South charm. It's more of a neutral. It's more subtle than a deep South kind of a charm, but I think there is something slightly Southern, something down home about the charm in Kentucky. And shout out to you guys. See, I'll come up on my phone. My husband, Shorty. Oh, cool. I'll put it in the stream for you, Sandy K. I really appreciate that. Be nice to hear from you. Thank you for coming on. And shout out to J-Dog, One Party RE. So there it is, Sandy K, whenever you're ready. Thank everybody for tuning in. It's nice to have conversation, and it's just, if we could just take, sometimes you even have to take a break from emotion. I don't know. I just feel that we're lost. We're a nation of lost. I'd say a percentage. I mean, here. Hello.
Hi.
Hi, Sandy. How are
I,
you?
I'm good. I got Southern talk language, whatever you want to talk.
Oh, it's hey, I've got Southern roots, as many as you want.
How are you doing?
Well, I'm doing well enough. I will tell you that, some of the dynamics of all the things that we've gone through, it's just been like one thing after another, one wave after another. And before you can get your bearings or get your, get your footing, there's another one. I mean,
Um,
it's, you know, I'm not sure if I'm making any sense, but it's a lot.
well, I'm going Sunday. I'd like for you to come on. I'm going to do a special, and I've got a 2020 so far. What's next?
On Sunday?
Yep, because
Sure.
like you just said, it's the same thing. It never stops.
Sure. So just let me know what time and
2 p.m. Central.
okay, so that's gonna be four, four for me. Okay. Well, yeah, I'd love to come over. I'd love
Yeah,
to
come
come
on up.
over. Let's see. So I'm gonna make a note here. But yeah, so you said you were raised in Florida.
Yeah, I was raised in Florida and moved to Kentucky.
Yeah, I have a friend that lives in Kentucky, and I think he lives in a condo, but I mean I think there's a lot of charm to. I had something. I was working there. I was on a work trip there when I came, and I don't know. One of my colleagues was saying, "Oh, we should get a hot brown." Do you know what a hot brown is?
Yeah, not really. I'm,
Yeah, I can't remember
I'm
whether it was a sandwich or something. It's some type of,
thinking it's like a slice of bread and meat on and gravy.
yes, now that sounds
I,
about
I,
right.
I think
See, look at you clearing it up.
my husband tried it and I didn't like it. So
Nice, nice, nice. So that's Sunday at 4 on your show.
yeah, well, it'd be 2 my time, 4 yours.
Oh, all right. Well, thanks so much for that. Yeah, well, I mean, and when I say shout out to Shane Music, thank you for coming in.
I,
Um, I just want to say, like I think this is more of a class struggle, a class war that's going on. I find it to be, from the obscenities that I've seen spray painted on walls, stucco walls in different places. Of course, aside from the F Trump stuff, you have F the rich, and you
yeah,
know, I was saying on a previous show, I wasn't, if I can say, I wasn't raised to be envious or to or jealousy. I thought to me that was kind of shameful, and I didn't grow up, with any kind of silver spoon or ton of money. I didn't, but
me.
I was always thankful for what I had, and that's actually what I thought was relevant.
Well, yeah, but I mean, you probably like me. I was raised to have heart.
Yeah, I mean, it was just, you just, I was just thankful for what I had, and if I could have better, I was happy with that. But either way, I could make it work, and
And if
and
somebody
just
better than I did, I mean, I was happy for them.
right, 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 right. So I mean, but I mean, I do know what it's like to. I will say I did learn very quickly what it was to be. And I say that some people say have and have nots, and I'm referring to the same thing, but I call it a class, and class have the class and class not is what I kind of call it.
Yeah,
Because in small towns, you have it's clear to see who's on top, the hierarchy. You've got the town doctor, the town dentist, the town pharmacist, the town banker. All of those kids ended up in the top everything. And I'm not saying that they didn't deserve to be there, but if you came from a blue collar family or background, of course you weren't nearly as recognized. And there were clearly differences, but I was never angry. I just wanted people to treat me, the way I wanted to just treat me with dignity and respect. That's all I ask.
Yeah,
You know.
and I mean, exactly. I'm no better than nobody else.
So yeah, yeah, I mean that's just the way that I was. But this is just a different time. It's a different time, and I think that the kids now, I mean, I have a teaching background, and I've seen the apathy in kids from middle school through college kids, and they all have something similar. There's just not a lot of, I don't know. It's I find them to be, some of them are, I think some people are just lazy. And I used to think that was the worst thing you could say about somebody, or somebody could describe somebody as being lazy.
Yeah.
Even I think my mom or somebody in my family would say, "Oh, well, she thought I was a lazy," she might even drop the N word. And I'm just thinking, well, I mean, I don't know where that came from, but maybe were you being lazy? I mean, as a kid, you don't question. That's another thing. I wasn't taught to question, like, or challenge, you know,
Yeah.
because that was kind of considered to be disrespectful. Like, I'm like, what do you mean? I mean, as you get older, you start to see things, but you know,
But I'm with you. I mean, we got the pandemic, and then now we got all this stuff. It's just I don't. What's next?
and I'm afraid to. I'm really afraid to ask,
Well,
Sammy.
I did though. I mean,
Okay, you did it. You
I
did
got
it.
my banner though. But
I'm off the hook because you asked.
yeah,
Yeah,
the
well, I
episodes
hope.
falling right behind each other. Just, I mean, it ain't even giving the other time to get out of the way.
Yeah, well, do you think this is something that's going to simmer down, or do you think, you know what I mean? Do you think we're going to,
No, I don't.
you know,
Well, okay, this is me. This is just me, my opinion. I go by the Bible, and if you go by the Bible, you see what's written and you'll see what's happening.
yeah, well, I will say, because my dad, he used to say all the time, he would say, "Oh, the Bible is fulfilling." He and he kind of tapered off of that, in the last 3 to 6 months of his life. He said that a little bit less. But
Yeah,
but he would quote very specific things. They would talk about things that I would hear about. Oh, well, we can't really tell what season that we're in. We would always hear these kinds of, those kinds of things always came up. And I can just tell by the animals in the area. Like, I think they're confused at times. You know,
yes. The weather, uh, s- I just got thrown off track. Yeah,
that's
the
okay.
weather, um, it's the seasons, the diseases,
Yes.
everything's going on right now. I don't know. I don't know what's next. I ain't
Well,
gonna ask thing to come back next.
so I mean, what do you think when you hear? I mean, I'm not sure. Um, Anybody else, I mean, who you're following on, or who you watch in terms of your news sources. And I mean, do you think that there's a chance, do you think there'll be some level of normalcy before the end of the year? Because it's like we're at a standstill, we're at a plateau where you can't really plan anything. All you can do is just take one day at a time. I mean, that's what I'm doing.
Honestly, here's what I think. I think people still wearing masks. The coronavirus, whatever. If I can say that on here, I don't know.
It's all right.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to. But,
Oh,
uh,
no, I used to be a little bit skittish about that, but they anything that you post that's raw and real, they will flag you for that. But at this point, I'm going to say COVID or whatever. I'll say the crowd disease. I'll throw those a beer virus or whatever they want. Some
But
people.
our governor, he's talking about it coming back in the fall. And with all the protesting and everything now, everybody's side by side, I can see it. I can see that. And I can
Oh
see
yeah,
it's worse.
but you know what? But that's what I mean. I don't see anyone being arrested or detained for that. I never heard the CDC heard of the CDC issuing any standards or any guidelines for peaceful slash you know socially distanced protesting. I mean,
I think it just, I don't know. I think it just hit too quick and they didn't have time. I don't know. But they should, I mean, they should put something out.
I've seen a few masks here and there, but I think some of the most vicious things that we've seen have not been by somebody that's covered with a mask, right?
See, like here, we've had shootings.
Yeah, and I tell you, I have heard quite a bit of sirens. I'm hearing those. I was just thinking, oh, today might be the first day I didn't hear any sirens, but I did hear some just a little while ago. But the crime is definitely up, and I think that it was happening. It was happening before this the situation broke around here.
Well, in one part of Kentucky, the protesters were shooting at the cops. This is just what
Oh wow!
I've heard because I don't have TV. I don't watch it. I don't know. But the protesters were shooting at the cops, and the cops shot back, and they hit somebody. I don't know.
Wow.
I don't know if that's right. I could be wrong. So y'all don't take me at my word.
Well, I appreciate you for. I mean, but I'm unfortunately I'm not surprised. Hang on, just one second. Shout out to Chrysler Imperial H. Thank you so much for hanging out and for all that you do. And shout out to Shane Music. And ladies and gentlemen, if you don't know, this is Sandy K joining me on this live stream.
Hey, buddy.
Nice to have a new voice on a new avatar on the screen. Yeah. So yeah, I mean, and I sometimes people will come up and I'll tell you the truth. I'm just going to be honest. They censored me last night because, and I showed a 5-second clip of someone saying, oh well, they're encouraging these kids to hurl rocks at the cops, and I'm just thinking, if that's what's going on, but they flagged it. They flagged it and said, oh, you're under, we're gonna take it down, and it's against community standards. And I'm just thinking, YouTube is not the same as it used to be. I mean, I'm still a late bloomer, if you will, on YouTube, but it's definitely not. It's not free speech, and I really don't know where that's going to go. I don't know.
YouTube is nothing like it was when I started.
How long have you been on YouTube?
About 5-7 years, something like that. I just started live streaming about 2 or 3 years ago. Then my channel got messed up, and I had to start a new one.
Well, I have had a YouTube account. I think that's the thing. I need to keep that in the front. That I had a YouTube account, but I didn't have a channel until last year. And but then yeah, I didn't realize that. I've heard of other people with much larger platforms than mine that ended up getting censored or having their things pulled down. Facebook, I hear Facebook does the same kind of a chastising.
I don't if you okay, I can see if you're getting on here spreading rumors, trying to start riots and stuff or lying. But if you're getting on there telling the truth and they know it's the truth, why stop it?
I know it's just it's I mean it's coming out. I mean everything that's that's another thing I used to say. Everything that's done in the dark comes to the light. Well, I think it's coming to the light. It's in the light right now. So who am I to say, you know, I mean, who are they to say that you can't repeat or something or you can't bear witness? Here I am, bear witness to something, but I'm not only bearing witness, I'm showing it to, you know, someone else. You can make up your own mind, you know. Um, so yeah, I got flagged the other night, and I don't know, I had a little bit of a troll, but I had to tell him, you know, troll juice will not be served here, not cool, cold, or warm, and
Trolls are getting bad.
yeah, well, you know, I just said, you know, from now on, if it's if they're really not, you know, trying to engage or add anything to the channel, then just, you know, just get rid of them because this person had a generic name, no picture, no anything, and so I'm just thinking, yeah, this person probably created this account just to.
That's what I try to tell everybody. Put a picture up. Have some kind of picture. It's better if it's a picture of yourself. Well, I don't have a picture of myself, but put a picture of something up.
Yeah, well, I mean, this guy had nothing, and I think he might have had like 2 subscribers. So I'm like, okay, yeah, this is a new account.
Yeah, that's what I do. No.
Yeah.
But some people are just starting out and you don't never know. So
No, no, no. But you know, the name was the name was very John Q-ish, if you will. It's like John
but if
Smith or
you
something.
yeah, if you them's the ones I watch.
Well, I ditched him.
I
I
don't
had to
blame
ditch him because like you know, I people that are accustomed to the channel, they already know what's on here, and you know, they come and they go, but nobody's holding anyone hostage here.
yeah.
So
Where are you from?
I am I am originally from Alabama. I'm a bit of a military kid. I've moved around quite a bit. Um, but I've also spent most of my time in on the West Coast. And but then my grandparents on both sides were in the military, Navy on one side and then Army on the other. My dad was in the Army. Um, so yeah, it's I've been around a little bit. Lived in quite a few places.
Oh, okay.
Um, I honestly, I'm like, oh my gosh, I want a simpler kind of life.
I don't
I
blame
did,
you.
I started growing, squash and tomatoes. I love green tomatoes. Green fried green tomatoes.
Yeah, that's one thing I missed about Florida. My brother has a big garden. I mean, a huge one.
Well,
He
that's
has
nice.
you can think it.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I mean, my dad grew up on a farm, and quite a bit of my family. I mean, that's what that was their work. That's what they did. You know, there was a bartering and all that back then, and you know, they knew how to work with their hands, and they did not complain because you know
Yeah,
they'd get smacked. I think I just think that's just the way it was. You have to work and you have to go to school. You have to do one or the two. Which one is it going to be? You know.
everything's just changed so much.
Yeah, I think it's. I don't know. It's less recognizable certainly. Standards of everything. I do think that you know the way the economy is. I think they're trying to usher in that whole Green New Deal is what I think. You know that everything that they have spoken, we're ending up, you know, succumbing to it anyway. We've already been conditioned. You see what I mean? The longer you keep people in their homes, the more they don't want to come out. I mean, do you understand what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, I even have a friend in Europe, and he has said the same thing. He's like, "Oh, I like staying at home. I've got to go back to work in a week," and you know,
Well, I've got COPD. Okay, I ain't supposed to be around all this stuff anyway, but I've been staying inside. I've been sick for like a year, and for the past 3 or 4 months I ain't been sick, and I ain't going outside now. But I did this week. I had my granddaughter, and she wanted to get her hair cut, so I had my mask on and everything. I took her to get it cut. My husband drove and everything.
but you were in good shape when you came back. You didn't pick up any bugs on the way out, going out and coming back in.
The other day, I said, I got to get out of this house. I walked out there and I just videoed my chickens. My chickens. I mean, but that sun, where I hadn't been outside in so long, it almost blinded me.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I mean, and see, at one point, I thought they were saying we used to hear all these, things that were hear about vitamins or natural things that were good for you, even during this thing in this novel, you know, COVID-19, you know. But then they started blasting people for even saying people were putting out disinformation, even when they talked about vitamin D or sun or anything, and that's I don't know. I just think that it's just the way of this is we're playing by somebody else's rules right now.
Oh, yeah. That's for sure.
So yeah, that's but yeah, like I said, I don't know if and then at times I wonder, well my gosh, we're not actually, every I think that they've kind of they've the Constitution, I think that that's on hold. You we're in and out of that. It only comes up when it serves, you know, someone's agenda, it seems.
Mm,
And I'm just thinking at times, we got to get all the way to how are we going to get to November with all of this going on? Can you imagine?
no. I don't even see September yet.
Yeah, just ugh. I'm trying to put some kind of positive spin on it, but it's like every day's Groundhog's Day. It's a Groundhog's Day of not going forward or really not even going backwards.
Well, that's what I mean, too. This is just the 2nd of June.
Yeah, and we're still.
It's like we're in slow motion. Slow motion, but at speed at the same time with all the crap going on. If that
Yeah,
makes sense.
I know. Well, I mean, I was just I
If
was
you
just
sit
testing
and
out.
watch,
Go
so
ahead. Sorry.
if you sit and watch YouTube or something, then it's every time you turn around, it's speedy because they always protesting and doing this and doing that. I get tired of watching it.
Yeah, it's way too much. It's just nonstop doing it nonstop. I think it's too much. And I mean it's to cover it, for people that are covering it nonstop. I mean, it's a lot. It's a lot emotionally just to observe it.
Yeah,
And I know there are some people that are grassroots like myself, but they're actually, I mean, they're actually flying around. I mean, I think they've built their platforms up high enough where they can absorb some of the cost and do. But then to me, at some point, you're putting yourself in harm's way at this point. You know what I mean? It's not just. I think that the rioting and the looting has surpassed, the protest. The peaceful level of it is being shadowed.
exactly.
So I don't know who's peacefully there and who's not. And I just think it's a risk.
I did find a video.
Did you?
I did post it where yes, where a policeman and protesters came together.
Really? Where was it?
And
Do you want to share it on here, or do you want to hold on?
I set it on my page.
Okay, cool. I'll come over and
I said it can happen. You know, people can come together.
they can. They can. I'm just thinking that there's just so much in certain areas. I mean, I'm going to cover a couple of things in the morning.
It's just too much right now, though. But it
So I
can.
mean, and then at times I think maybe I should just take some days off. It's
Well,
just
that's what I mean. It can happen, but it's just going to take a long time. And who knows if we got that long time. You know, we don't never know.
yeah.
What
It's
you come on? I've been looking for you to come on.
well, I need to get more. It's 10 o'clock is what the desirable hour is for me. But
Yeah.
shout out to Foreign XP. Yeah, Foreign X. Shout out to you. Which it's 10 o'clock is the mornings. That's when I want to commit to like a Monday, at least a Monday, Tuesday. That's what I call the brunch stream news live. Ten
Yeah.
o'clock. I'm trying to decide if I'm going to do it tomorrow. I should do it tomorrow. I'll do 10 o'clock tomorrow for next. And yeah, I'll be. Yeah, you're welcome to come on tomorrow if you'd like. If you want to come on, did you want to come on right now, or are you headed to bed? I mean, I know we're dealing with transcontinental time zones here, but
I'll just ask you before. Well, I don't mean to interrupt nobody, but do you
no,
have a Twitter or Instagram?
I have Instagram. Instagram is Black Spring with Autumn, and that's on Instagram. I don't have Facebook um, because I had a personal page on Facebook for quite some time, and then I just decided to come off of it. But I was thinking of putting. Actually, I started working on a page for Facebook, but then I didn't go through with it. But I'm wondering if the censorship is maybe I should just go ahead and try it. It would be the exact same. It's always going to be the same handle everywhere I go. It's going to be Black Spring with Autumn. It's definitely on Instagram. Um, and at Twitter, I don't have a Twitter account. I'm thinking about doing that. I've just been, a little slower on putting things out and where I put them. Um, because I'm on some other platforms too that are more independent, the smaller platforms, because of the amount of censorship. I started a Patreon account, and on Patreon, of course, I'm allowed to. I think I'm allowed to say more on Patreon. I don't really have to worry about, oh, what are they going to say, or is this going to get flagged, or there's also I have another one on Brighteon, and if you go to the home page, those little emblems on the bottom there are the ones that I do have. Now Twitter, I might need to just go ahead and do Twitter, because you can't even really look at Twitter tweets without having a Twitter account.
The main thing I do is for the mail DMs.
Hmm.
And if I share somebody out, I'll share them out on Twitter.
Cool, cool. I have had, like I said, I have not had any interactions on Twitter, and yeah, I really appreciate anybody that's sharing me out, because my channel is, I will tell you, it's been stagnant, the growth. I'm at closely the same number that I was at probably a month ago. And then, of course, YouTube changed the parameters where, you can't it's not auto click anymore to just go to someone's page.
Yeah.
You have to, Yeah, you got to go around the mulberry bush and find. You got to search them out and then plug it into the search them out and then hit the button. You know, you can't. All you can do. It's a lot. I think people were growing too fast, and I think that's just another extension of the censorship. You know, also getting monetized, that'll also slow you down. I think it takes 12 hours sometimes for them to comb through your material before they release it.
I did a live stream a while back, and it took I think 12 to 24 hours for it to even posted. I said, "What?"
I know, I know. I think I don't know who's if there's like artificial intelligence at work already, um, but they're certainly not. So they're certainly not letting their they've stunted the growth, so to speak.
Well, my Instagram is totally different than my name. It's SKOON.
SKOON,
Yeah,
and that's on the Instagram.
yeah.
SKOON. Okay, I will look you up for sure. So yeah, I will do that. And then yeah, so tomorrow I will definitely come on at 10 a.m. Now that's 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. And I think that puts people on the East Coast at 1, and then for people on Central Standard Time, that puts them at 12 noon. So 10 a.m. tomorrow. Um, yeah, because I'm, you know, I just I do these live streams to, you know, that's more of a connecting with, you know, with channel subscribers, and we get to actually talk about things. And with this whole social distancing and these lockdowns, I mean, it's been a way to be social. Um, you know, so I'm like, and then and this is just an example. This is totally a sidebar, but it was, you know, if you meet somebody, I'm like, I don't want to. Meeting somebody is not a good. This is not a good time to meet somebody. You know, I was like, what are you going to do? Have them at your house or hope that they don't, you know, you can't because your neighbors might rat you out and say, hey, you're not social distancing. And who is that person? They're not social distancing from you. I've never seen them before. You would be amazed.
Uh-huh.
People have inserted themselves into other people's lives under this thing, you know?
Yeah, I hear you.
So, I mean, but that's just, you know, that's kind of sidebar. It's not the goal, but I, yeah, it's just, yeah.
I mean, do you talk about anything? I know I'm asking you all kind of questions, but if you get ready to go, just tell me.
Oh, and I'm going to probably stay on for at least another 15 minutes because I did an hour earlier today. I'm trying to, the watch hours is, you know, another wicked thing.
Them things
Yeah.
are bad. They took most of mine.
Why?
I don't know. I had, I mean, I didn't have a lot. I had over 1,000. So, no, I had 3,000. I didn't have a lot. And the next day I looked and I had 500
Oh, wow.
minutes.
See, I don't understand, you know,
I,
I don't know how they can take hours away. You know, I broker hours on YouTube, you know.
yeah, I mean, I don't know.
But then I will tell you this now, I don't mean to dig into the conspiracy bag, but someone said that they had proof that they were actually selling people subscribers.
I've
And
heard too.
I emailed I emailed the guy to say, you know, he said he had proof, but I'm like, okay, well, you're not showing me the proof, so.
Well, I mean, I've heard it too.
But I just can't imagine. I mean, what do they do? I mean, sell your subscribers. I don't know. What do they do? Just kind of wave people's profiles on in front of somebody and.
Well, I've also heard that, which I don't know, because I mean, I don't go to all these channels. some channels you go to, the more money you give them, the more they're gonna promote your channel and everything else.
Right, right, right. Oh, wow. Well, I guess it's possible.
Now,
So,
the drama community, if you got drama on your channel, you got people left and right. I don't want drama.
hang on
Uh,
just 1 second. Hold on. Hold on. Well, I have to be honest. I have seen drama on channels, and I'm just thinking, why? I mean, that to me, that was one of the attractive things about this platform was it appeared other people's platforms. You know, I've seen like peaceful platforms large, and then I've also seen some smaller ones that are just, you know, they're constantly going at, or the people in the stream are fighting with each other.
well, when I first started YouTube, it was in the drama community. I didn't know what I was doing. I was totally stupid, and these people were going at left and right, and they still doing it today. And they have I don't know how many, and how many people see them. I just don't get it. I don't want drama in my stream. Period. I mean, you know what I'm saying? You can agree to disagree or whatever, but don't come in and just start crap.
I know. Well, I know I saw someone having an argument inside of a stream, and it was about the protest, and it's like they were disagreeing on whether they were actually looting or whether they were actually protesting. I mean, I think that's pretty distinctive. What's happened? You know, it's clear to see if somebody's breaking windows at Louis Vuitton. Is that protesting?
They broke windows at the Five Below store too and went in there. I mean, the Five Below, $5 and below. And I've heard of them doing that. Tonight I heard of them doing it at Dollar Tree. I was like, good Lord. If I don't have $1 to buy something, I don't need it.
Yeah, that's exactly where I am on that. Just have some dignity. And my gosh, I mean, it's, I don't know. It's also like a very entitlement kind of a culture too. Like, what is the world? Does the world owe us all something? Like,
And it's just, to me, I mean, it ain't just blacks protesting. It's why I've seen whites there. I've seen Chinese. I've seen all races are protesting. I mean, it's nothing against blacks. Some of my best friends were black.
well, there's definitely no offense taken here. I mean, I've seen people of all backgrounds, participating in the looting and the rioting. But then the media is where you will get, they want to say it's one group, or, it's, we've had a lot of police officers to be, to lose their lives in this situation.
Yeah.
And some of them have been black. I think one today. Somebody out of, I'll probably get into that a little bit tomorrow. But they don't cover that. I guess they think there's no story there.
They don't cover the good stuff, really. They don't cover the good stuff. They just want to keep the bad stuff going. I don't see no sense. I mean, cover some good stuff. See, if I owned a channel, I'd want people to watch my channel. And like a news channel, yeah, I'll put some good stuff in there, but I'm gonna put the bad stuff too. They don't put no good stuff.
Well, I know that the last thing that I did, actually, let me see if I can share that with you guys. I created something. I created something with a balance just for you, Sandy K, in mind. So
Okay.
I put a balance of good and bad in. So I'm gonna pull it up. Let's see. Yeah, I made it earlier today, and it's you have good there. I know of decent cops. I don't know. I had a state trooper that stopped me after work. It was the first ticket I ever had, but he really nailed me because, well, it was like kind of a construction zone, but there was no construction workers. When the construction workers are present, then the fine is greater.
Yeah.
Well, he yelled and screamed and, "Are you trying to kill yourself?" I said, no. So I couldn't get a word in. It's just he was just yelling the whole time, and is that what state troopers do? You know,
You got good cops, you got bad cops, you got, and as far as the different races, you got good ones and bad ones in each one. But I understand. I understand some of the anger. I do. I don't understand the looting and burning. I don't understand that. Am I making any sense, or can you even? I don't know. I might be talking funny this late.
no, you're fine. You're totally good. I was gonna pull up that little clip that I created earlier, so I'm gonna pull that out for. I'm gonna try to bring some visual to the place.
I said I've been looking for you because I wanted you to come on
Well, I
Sunday.
appreciate it. I need to do better. I need to be more consistent. So even if I just commit to, even I commit to two days a week, um, and I really need. I mean, it's to do like I did a solid hour one day this week of all at 10. It was I was late one day, and I was doing point to point. I had a whole agenda on that day, and and I did a lot of talking that day, and um, so let's see if I can get this going for you guys. So I created this. Let me know if you guys can hear it.
I can see it. I can't hear it.
Okay, you can't hear the
I
music on it.
don't know if they can or not.
Okay, there's actually music to this, and I don't know why, but you can
See,
see the images there.
yeah.
So I don't know if they'll flag me just for the images on it, but yeah, I created that one. Let's see, maybe it offered me something else in the tabs because the audio is on the other link of it. But they just get real persnickety about stuff. So yeah, I was just showing. But then you had a cop that was actually comforting a teen, and a lot of these kids, they don't want to. Nobody wants to talk about
That's
about
what I'm
the
saying.
family
That's,
structure. Kids growing up. You know, at some point we all might end up being you might end up being a single parent by default. But I personally don't want to start out like that because I had both of my parents for a long time, and my parents ended up getting a divorce before I graduated from high school. And even that was hard. Um, but the natural authority figure is a man, and it just seems like our society is pushing this absolute feminine agenda. And yeah, and then it's making it, to me, it also makes the kids a little bit more, they have issues with authority figures because they're used to their moms telling them what to do, and they're very dramatic. A lot of these traffic stops that I've seen online, there's one, I'm going to find it. It's the one where the kid goes to his grandmother's house. He's run
right.
a he's done a traffic violation, and he goes to his grandmother's house. The traffic stop ends at her house, and if I can find it, I just don't think I would put I mean, that's not very manly, right?
Yeah.
So I mean, that's what I'm saying. Like values, we're so far away from any type of morals. You know what I mean? It's just certain things you just don't do, but you're taught.
Right now, I help raise my granddaughters, 3 of them anyway, and I think they're taught pretty good. Now, who's to say when they get older they'll change? But I don't know. I hope not. Well, yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, this one was a really good one.
What are you eating? I know it's late, but you sound like you eat.
Oh my God, that's what I didn't want it. That's what I didn't want you to hear.
I didn't hear
Okay,
you. Just sound like
here,
you got
here it is.
something.
Here it is. I keep muting in and out and in and out. Okay, so let me see if I can play this one for you guys. Yeah, I think this is it. It happened this month. So I'm going to share. I'm going to stop sharing that one and share this one. And this is. I'm just saying. Oops. Sorry, Sandy K.
Oh, you're all right.
Okay, I'm going to get you to the traffic stop that ends at Granny's house. Okay, that's the deal. All right, everybody. Okay, so I'm going to play this one. A little bit long, but yeah, you guys can let me know if you can hear this one. I don't hear it right now, but I guess maybe there's not quite the audio yet, but looks like this is from the cop's car, I guess. I don't know. Yeah, we're at the stop sign. Believe it or not, I thought I wanted to be a police officer. Can you hear it now?
Growing up, I always wanted to be a teacher. I can hear it sound.
Okay.
It looks like
To,
a
you know.
car.
Uh-oh. This actually might get flagged, but give it a shot. No pun intended there.
Step out of the vehicle, man. Hey, roll down the window. Step out of the car. Step out of the car. Dude, I'm not going anywhere. Step out of the car right now.
When was this supposed to happen?
It looks like May 16th, I believe. Wow, he's staying in the car a long time. I hadn't seen it from start to finish. I mean, I saw the climactic part of it.
Driver, roll down the window.
Yeah, but anymore, unlike everybody else, if you get stopped, put your hands on the steering wheel.
Right.
Driver, exit the vehicle.
I'm surprised they waited that long to even tell him to get out, to keep telling him that many times.
Most of the time, they wouldn't tell them 1 or 2 times.
Driver! I know you can hear us. Exit the vehicle.
So wouldn't scream it.
You're not free to go. Driver! Exit the vehicle now! Driver, exit the vehicle now.
It's a long time.
Driver, exit the vehicle
Yeah.
with your hands up.
See, I don't know. I don't know what their protocol is, but I thought maybe by now they would have already.
Yeah.
This is more leniency than that's portrayed. You know, like they're giving you more than enough time to realize that you're being, detained. I kind of want to fast forward it, but
That's what I was going to say.
like, oh my gosh, you bring your lunch.
Driver, you are not free to go.
Moving on.
Okay. You ran a stop sign. You ran a stop sign. Chill out, bro. Chill out.
Oh my God. See, that's where it's just,
Yeah.
it gets really loud and then the obscenities come in. So that's what I'm saying. You see how long? 7 minutes in. If you just look at that, I think that's somebody giving you a huge benefit of the doubt right there. More than I would think then they gave a lot of time. I mean, maybe they thought, were you having a heart attack or something in the car?
That'd be
No.
what I think.
Because when the police car is following you. I mean, it's just like a gaze. It's a gaze. So let me see if I can.
I did watch one tonight, a police chase, and don't ask me why I was watching it because I don't know. But they caught him, but they weren't driving the cop cars. But they let him ride all over the place. I don't know his color or nothing, but he had robbed a bank. It was in Houston or somewhere.
Well, I mean, there's all of a sudden. I'm gonna imagine that did he call somebody from the inside the house and then they started yelling. So let me see if I can pull the volume down here.
Get on the other side of the wall. Hey, just stay calm. Nothing's wrong right now. Stay calm. Hey, stand up, walk towards us. No one's gonna shoot you. Not gonna shoot you.
You see, why are they running the show? See, this is the kind of stuff that I'm talking about. Being a teacher.
Yeah.
When you have people that don't really, when you're dealing with people, if you're dealing with a student that doesn't have respect for authority, then usually they're having issues at home, and they end up going into detention. But nobody wants to talk about it, and nobody shows up until they get into trouble, until they're at risk of having to find somewhere else for them to go. I couldn't get them to come out for anything else. Couldn't get the parents to come in. So but then And eventually they turn into what they call the society's problem, or you're breaking the rules, but you've been breaking them enough that you're still breaking them at that age.
Yeah.
So it's just, I don't know. But then there's a bunch of women screaming in the background. And why do you have your guns out? Da, 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 da. Is that
Yeah.
true?
I'm like he called them. He called somebody.
So I tell you.
He was driving.
But yeah, so but I am going to be back tomorrow
Okay.
at 10. That's 10 Pacific Standard Time. And your show is on at 2 o'clock my time, 4 o'clock your time?
Yeah. Well, it's 2 o'clock my time, 4 o'clock your time.
Okay. I thought I wrote it down right, but then I wrote it next to your name. Okay. So I will come over at 4. All right, Sandy. Well, I thank you very much for coming on.
You're very welcome.
And let me just shout everyone else out in the stream, and then I will wrap this one up. Shout out to, if anybody's still out there, the Foreign EXP, Chrysler Imperial H, Shane Music, J-Dog One Party RE, and we had guest Sandy K on hanging out with us on the moonlighting on Black Spring. And who else did we have? Looks like that was it. Well, I thank everybody so much for joining me on this segment of Black Spring, Moonlighting with Black Spring. And thank you so much, Sandy K, for coming on. So I'm going to end this stream right now.
Thank you for having me up.
Absolutely.